Salam alaikum, everyone. I want to welcome you to another installation of the Zoom In on the Halal Metropolis project, where we're talking to leaders of the Muslim community about their response to the coronavirus pandemic and how it's affecting the community here in Detroit. This afternoon, I have Ahmad Chebbani with me from Omnex Accounting and from the American Arab Chamber of Commerce in Dearborn, Michigan. Hi, Ahmed. How are you doing?
Hi, Sally. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
So how are you doing? How are you and your family doing?
You mean how are we coping with this?
Exactly.
It's a long adjustments. It's kind of difficult. It's different, and it has its own positive side, I guess. In one side, we're spending more time with our families. We have a grandchild, and everybody's with us, so we enjoy that.
Wow,
Definitely,
everyone's
my
with
kids
you?
are.
You're,
Thank you.
you're really
And
spoiled if you have your grandbaby with you. That's awesome.
yeah, I'm not allowed to carry him though, so because I sometimes have to leave the house, and so I have a restriction even in my own home, but I will respect that. The other side is that my daughters are picked up a hobby of cooking. I've never had so many home cooked meals, probably last 40 some years, like I've had the last few weeks, which is something, I'm not sure I look forward to every day anyways. Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, we've been cooking too, but yeah, there's only one cook in this house, unfortunately. I wish I had other people to help out. So what are you guys doing? Well, how are things at the chamber, and how are things at Omnex? How are you guys working remotely? Are you working in your different offices?
So obviously with with the stay-home order, we had to rethink quickly on how we were going to operate our businesses. In this chamber's perspective, obviously we had to ask our staff to go home, but we continue to disseminate information to our members regarding the stay-home order, regarding grants and loans and what have you. I think obviously we had to disengage from many public meetings. So it's kind of it's a unique thing now. As far as Omnex is concerned, we're hit by a storm. One day we had to buy 25 computers with dual screens, and that took a toll on us. And then we had to ship everybody home, and it took us a week or so to adjust to the new environment. We had not had done that before. Obviously, we had access to our homes, but not to operate a whole company out of the house.
I'm sure.
But that's I mean, is it good? Yes. We serve our clients. We do. Is it efficient? Everybody has different perspective on that. It's kind of difficult thing because we are in our business. We interact with people face to face, and this phones and emails. It's really not working out perfectly for everybody.
Believe me, I'm an educator. I know that face to face, there's nothing more valuable. Well, I really wanted to talk to you today because I know that Congress just passed new legislation, new relief money is going to be available. So I wanted to see if you could help me explain to people the difference between the Paycheck Protection Program and the EIDL, the disaster relief loan program. Yes. And then also just where people can go to get help and to get services if they want to apply for one of these.
All right, as we are aware, because of the shutdown nationwide economically, Congress enacted a $349 billion that dedicated directly for the PPPs, we're going to call it, which is the Paycheck Protection Program, and the EIDL, which is the Emergency Injury Disaster Loans. Okay. Long names, but meaningful, I guess. So these were designed initially to help small businesses sustain their operations while we come out of this pandemic. And so the PPP, in this case, it's a loan based on 2.5 times your monthly payroll cost. I'll give you an example. If somebody has a cost of $120,000 a year, average $10,000, then you can apply to get a loan of maximum of $25,000 in this case, which is 2.5 times. And this money has to be spent within 8 weeks period as soon as you got it. And it has to be spent 75% on payroll, 25% on some operating costs, including and limited to basically rent, utilities, and healthcare. and maybe mortgage interest and some limited items. And I mean, this loan program has run out of money within less than 2 weeks. There's, you know, in the US, we have 30 million small businesses, 1.6 million were able to access that, but within less than 10 weeks. Obviously, there's a lot of cry out, you know.
But isn't the new legislation meant to address this specifically, the legislation
Exactly.
that was passed this week?
So there's a lot of cry out of this, and now last week, another $310 billion were enacted to fill the gap, I guess, for people who were not able to timely apply or qualify on time. Mm-hmm. And this begins actually on Monday. So the president should be signing that over the weekend. Monday, 9 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning, people are able to apply. Right. So this is the EIDL loan, which is incorporated into this loan, has only allotted, and only in perspective, you know, $60 billion. And this loan specifically people can receive up to, you know, $2 million in loans. The first $10,000 of it, which should address a lot of small, can be forgiven. And that has not been very successful as of yet, because they ran out of money so fast that they were not able to give you the 10,000 within 72 hours as they promised. Mm. Now they are dispersing only 1,000 per employee, so to a maximum of $10,000.
So you have to be an employer. You can't be like an LLC or something like that without employees.
Yes, you do, and not in the PPP program, but the EIDL program. Well, in PPP, you could qualify if you have sole proprietors with employees, mm-hmm. and you have individual sole proprietor. Up to $100,000 of income can be used to compute your 2.5% of income, which is $8,333 a month multiplied by 2.5 times. Mm-hmm. So these are, not many have been qualified for that for the first round. Now they allotted more money for that specifically, because the first one, only 18% of people who were less than 10 employees were able to access this, which is quite a small number in comparison. Yeah.
Well, so, I mean, we know that the Arab community in Dearborn and in the Metro Detroit area, I mean, there's a very large number of small business owners in this population. I mean, a lot of people are in the food industry, which was considered essential. So a lot of these restaurants, they might not have had to close, or a lot of the grocery stores, they might not have had to close. So in a sense, those businesses are lucky, although as we know, not as many people are eating out in restaurants. So I'm sure their business has dropped, but there's so many other kinds of businesses in the community. I mean, this is a very entrepreneurial population. And I'm just wondering, you know, where do you suggest that people in the Arab community go if they want to file for these loans? Or is it the sort of thing that's pretty easy for people to do on their own? Or are there, you know, organizations or, you know, institutions out there that can help people who might not have the resources to do that on their own?
Well, you know, obviously you can try to do it on your own through visiting the SBA.gov, and that can give you direction. Although some of the stuff may be a little confusing for most people, they should rely on their own CPAs and tax professionals system in this case. The Chamber of Commerces are able to send, the Arab Chamber sends out information whenever people make requests and to learn about how to go about the process. But obviously also your banker. When it comes to the PPP, your banker has to be primary source, because most banks will only take their own customers to apply, because it's such a large request that the banker said, you know, we're not going to take anybody else but our own. Mm-hmm. So if you bank with any specific bank, you really need to connect with your bankers, and they should be able to assist you with that. With this round now, there's $60 billion allotted for small community banks and credit unions. So before they did not have the full access because big business absorbed that. Mm-hmm. So now you can walk into your credit union and ask for that assistance at the same time. So accessibility is there, but you have to look for it.
Well, that's super. That's what I needed to hear, because I didn't realize that. And I know a lot of people who went to the big banks initially and were rejected exactly because they weren't customers. So that's great advice. Well, we're actually out of time. So I thank you very much for talking to us. And I'm glad to know that you and your family are taking care of each other. And I just wish I could come over there and enjoy your daughter's cooking one night, sometime soon.
Well, we have to get very special masks for that. So
I guess so. But anyway, thank you very much, Ahmed. Take care.
Thank you, Sal. You too.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.